Friends, get ready. We have not one, not two, but 3 projects that we're going to make for fall decor using Dollar Tree items that I messed up. But we recovered. It's going to be awesome. So join me. Hey everybody, it's Colette with Blessings Craft Therapy if you didn't know. And if you did, thank you so much for coming back. Okay, so we're going to start with some Mod Podge and some chalk paint. This one is, the color is Spanish Moss. And I'm going to put equal parts of the paint and dishwasher safe Mod Podge into a cup, and we're going to mix it up. I'm going to do this with 3 different colors. Listen, I thought I was doing something here. I got to be honest. It was a great plan. So there we go. I also used the color pumpkin in another cup, and then the last one was this color cashew, and I did that in another cup. And again, just stir it up. Now I have these jars from Dollar Tree. Now here's a tip for you. See the sticker? It's really stuck on the bottom. If you heat it up, I know this is a rookie thing, but some people may not know this. If you heat it up, it'll peel right off and it will leave no residue of that sticky. I'm just saying, you're welcome. Back to the project. We're also going to use some daubers from Dollar Tree. And the first thing I do is use a very small dauber, and I get into that little lip underneath the top just to go all the way around the rim. And again, this is with each of the colors I do this. And then I use a bigger dauber and I go the entirety of the jar with the exception of the bottom. I didn't do the bottom initially. But, you know, listen, here's the thing. I don't like brush strokes, and this also gives like a really cool texture. So I really liked it. Now, if you wanted it super smooth, then you could just do a couple layers of paint using a brush and that would be fine. But I am I like to say I am an efficient crafter. Some would call it lazy. It's okay. Either one is fine. But I just didn't want to do a bunch of layers. I just wanted to be one and done, right? So I do this on the entirety of the sides and top of, and I didn't do the very top of it. I wanted anything that would touch food or whatever to not have paint on it. So I left the very top open. There we go. And see, we just go all the way around, and you'll see why I don't do the bottom is, see how I keep using the bottom? I use that to you know, secure the, you know, so I can turn it. And it just helps. It just makes things a little bit easier. The other thing that helps with it is that when I go to put it down, so if I were to do the bottom right now and I go to put it down, well, then that would make a mess, right? But you see how I can continue to secure the bottom and hold the cup so that, or the jar, so that I don't mess up any of the work I've already done. Again, efficient. Some call it lazy. It's okay. Either one. But see how I stabilize the jar and I can put it down. And now I just use my dauber and do the very bottom. Easy peasy, right? And we're going to let this dry really well. Again, I like using the dauber. If you don't want to, just do a couple layers of the paint with a brush. I also did the lid, and I am not worried about the very nub of it. Is that what that's even called? Is that a nub? Whatever, the top of it. I didn't worry about doing that. I just did the sides. Again, same process. This is with the cashew color. I did the very edge first with a small dauber, and then I used a larger dauber and went over all of the sides all the way around, leaving the bottom. Same process. Did the lid. Again, same song, second verse, and same song, third verse. We're going to do the same thing with the orange. You get the gist of it, right? We're going to do this. Now, with this one, I actually did use a brush, and the only reason why is because it was hard to get in those nooks and crannies. There's a lot of waves to this jar, so I just went over it like that, and then I went back over it with the dauber. Again, I didn't want to see the brush strokes, and I didn't want to do 14 layers, so this is what I chose to do. But if this sparks an idea for you to do something different, oh my goodness, please move forward with the glory of God, right? Now this is all dry. Look how pretty. They look so pretty, and I was so hopeful. Like, this was such a hopeful moment for me. I was like, this is going to be awesome. So then what I did was I took some thicker jute and put a little dot of glue on the very top of our jar lid, and then I kind of swirled our jute, put it on the very top, and then all we're going to do is do glue, wrap more jute, glue, wrap more jute. So we're just going to keep wrapping around that little nubby I keep calling it a nubby top. You know what I mean. You're going to just keep wrapping around that top until you get to the very bottom of it. And again, you could do as much or as little as you wanted. Again, I thought I was doing something here. I was super excited. I was so filled with hope. I cut off the excess. We just put a little dot of glue on the bottom, put our jute on that, and we're ready to go. I was like, yes, we are going to style this. It's going to be adorable. My original plan was these were going to look like gourds and pumpkins. I tried with ribbon, then I tried with raffia. None of it worked. It felt like it needed something, right? I mean, it's cute, but so then I was trying the white one, and I'm like, all right, let's do some wired jute and some more raffia. For the love of Jiminy Crickets, no, it just felt off. It felt wrong. So of course I have to enlist my daughter because she has an eye for stuff, and she's like, that looks like corn. What did you just say? So then I pull out my Tim Holtz distressing pads. These are just ink pads, and I have another dauber, and I'm using it's like, I can't remember the color names, but one's like a maroon, one's a blue, one's a brown. And I'm just going through and just every so often, just doing the squares and all the way around. There's no rhyme or reason to it, really. And I did the same thing again. This is with the brown. And then I didn't have any yellow, and I was bummed about that. So I decided to take some paint. This is the yellow that you're going to see me use is Dollar Tree paint. And all I did was take a little bit of that paint, and it's on a piece of plastic garbage. I know. I recycle everything though. So I just put a little bit on there and put some on the brush and dabbed it so that it wasn't really saturated. Does that make sense? It's almost like dry brushing almost, and then I'm going to go over it with the yellow, and we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other stuff. Let me just say, I was so excited. This process was so important, and I will tell you why after we finish this, because it was so heartwarming and awesome. All right, so moving forward with the project, I have a piece of green fabric, and it's probably, 2-3 inches wide, and then I fold it in half, and then on the very ends, I'm just going to go from the fold, and I'm making like, think of it like I was going to make like a point. We're making the bottom of the top of a leaf. So then I put our jar on top of it, and then I take some raffia and I tie the raffia around the center, and yes, friends, it's gonna be corn on the cob. Is it abstract? Yes, it absolutely is, but I think it's super cute. Like, I am there for it. I love it. So all we're doing here is just tying the raffia. I'm just tying it with a knot. I'm not doing anything fancy schmancy with it. I made sure to rough up my raffia so that it was, kind of all over the place. Could I have done something different with it? Sure. I'm sure some crafty people are going to be watching this and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I would do X, Y, and Z. That's what I love about crafting. You could see this, be inspired, and do something so awesome with it. So I did fold over the edges just because I felt like it needed to kind of fold in a little bit. Then I kind of muss it up a little bit and kind of make it look like corn peel. I did go over and sand the edges just so they were a little rougher, but I was so excited about that. Now, these are the other two, and I thought, again, I'm like, well, let's see if I could do something with this. Yeah. Okay, so we do wired jute. This is wired jute from Dollar Tree. And so I roll it around a dowel, and then I stretch it out a little bit so that we can put it on the base. We're going to just wrap it around the base of that little nub. And then look at what happened. I was so angry. All of the jute is coming off of the wire. It's like, what is happening to me today? Why? I was so frustrated. But I'm like, you know what? That corn on the cob, that idea just ignited me. So I was like, you know what? We're not going to let this ruin us. Let's take the wire out of it, tie it back on to where we had originally planned. And then what I'm going to do is just not open up, like I'm unraveling. That's the word. Words are hard. Thank you for extending me grace. So we're going to just unravel the very ends of our jute. So that way they're almost fuzzy. I love it. Is it out there? Yes. Is it perfect? No. I'm not mad though. I mean, in my opinion, it salvaged the project because I originally was going to toss this stuff because I was so angry. But I mean, quit it. Look at how cute that is, right? It's not perfectly a gourd, but that's okay. Then it inspired me to move even further and fix this one. So I added a little faux leaf, and then I had some more. I didn't give up on the wired jute. I was just a little bit, you just got to be really mindful with it. And I did put a little dot of hot glue on the end just to keep it so that it didn't do anything crazy. So I twisted that on the base of that, and then I added some glue and added some Spanish moss because Spanish moss makes everything look more farmhouse and country. I don't care If you don't agree, that's okay, but I'm just saying, right? So I just put the Spanish moss on there. And listen, I am so happy that I did this because originally I was going to give up. I was so mad at these jars, I was going to throw them away. And that one project, that one corn on the cob, changed everything. So my invitation to you, look how cute these are. My invitation to you is don't give up. I know sometimes we can get frustrated, but it's going through that frustration to get to the other side of it that the sweet spot is, right? I'm just saying. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this inspires you.